The following clip was recorded by Finn, a young explorer who loves seeking out spooky places for the thrill of it. On October 27th, 2021, he decided to visit an abandoned care center in the Conroe, North Houston area, but what he captured that night was far more terrifying than he expected. Have a look.
Alright, I'm working in a old urgent care that just got shut down. It got shut down before the freeze here in Texas. I'm not sure why it closed down, but it's pretty spooky. I'm supposed to be looking for a leak in here. This bathroom, creepy hallway. Real spooky place. Another bathroom. This is a second two-story building. This used to be the elevator shaft right here. I guess we're taking the stairs. I guess meditation class used to be upstairs. Had to put your shoes in this little cubby. After some further investigation, there's no one else in this building. I fucking heard someone go down those stairs, though. So, I guess this was the meditation room. There's a lot of natural lighting in here. Probably don't need the flashlight right now. Here's the top of the elevator shaft. You can't fucking see anything down there. So, here's the meditation room. Kind of looks like the fucking back rooms. It looks very culty. There's a stage up here. It looks like a couple of altars next to them. Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the fuck out of here. That was it.
Of all the strange things that happened in this video, there's one detail viewers couldn't shake off, and Finn himself didn't even notice it until people pointed it out in the comments. If you listen closely, you'll hear a faint voice whisper, "I see you." And it was right after that voice that several strange things began happening in the building, all pointing to the possibility that someone or something was right there with him, even though he didn't see anyone. So, was this the spirit of a former patient or something else? You decide.
This next video was sent by a woman's daughter-in-law after several complaints about the weird things going on in their home. Watch!
From the moment I stepped inside, I could feel it. Something was there with me. And then the door closed. I didn't see anyone, but I knew I wasn't alone. Now, after so many places like this, I'm not scared, just curious. Why do spirits try to show they're here when no one is here to harm them? In that moment, I had two choices: go up to the attic or walk out and never look back. I chose to go check the attic, and I wish I hadn't, because what I saw up there still keeps me awake at night.
According to the daughter-in-law, there's definitely a ghost in the house, but they believe it doesn't mean any harm. In fact, they insist it actually has a sense of humor. Sometimes it tips over an empty cup just to startle them, or flicks the lights off and on like it's playing a game, or turns the radio to an embarrassing song right when guests arrive. It's gotten to the point where they often find themselves laughing before remembering to grab a camera to record what's happening. They are fully aware they're not alone in that house, and surprisingly, they're okay with that idea. So we can only hope that this playful relationship with their resident spirit stays exactly as it is, lighthearted, calm, and free of anything darker.
In this next video, a lady called Keys was home alone when she started hearing footsteps, like someone was slowly walking around the house. But she didn't hear the door open, and she knew no one else was supposed to be there. So, curious and a little unnerved, she left her room to find out who it was. Watch.
Why does it sound like someone's walking?
You see, the footsteps weren't the only unsettling part of this clip. If you look closely, the chair in the room was rocking back and forth, yet there was no one in sight. Some of the people she showed believe it's a restless spirit trapped in the house, while others went darker, saying a demonic entity was mimicking footsteps to lure her out. Another theory? That someone had once died in the chair, and what we're seeing is a replay of that moment, trapped in time. At the moment, Keys doesn't know the theory to accept, but she's convinced someone or something was in her home, so she sets up cameras to catch the culprit. One night, after watching a movie where a woman interrogated a ghost, she decided to try it herself, jokingly at first, until this happened.
Is anyone here with me? Can you do something to show me that you're here? Like tap on the wall? Thank you.
She asked the spirit to show her a sign, and it answered. Some say asking spirits to prove themselves is like opening a door. It gives them permission to grow stronger, like her joke turned into an actual invitation. And you see, from that point, things escalated. And even though Keys isn't asking for signs anymore, whatever is in her home has gone from subtle to violent. Watch this. It's obvious whatever spirit is in her house has now grown aggressive and it's targeting her. Now, Keys admits she no longer feels safe in her own home, and to this day, the memory of what happened that night still haunts her. Now, in this next clip, Alex has been hearing countless stories about a bridge locals call the Devil's Bridge in San Antonio, Texas, rumored to be one of the most haunted spots in the area. Visitors report smelling sulfur, often linked to demonic presence, tossing rocks over the edge only to never hear them land, as if something catches or swallows them, and capturing chilling EVPs during ghost hunts. Some even say true evil lurks on this bridge at night, and those who dare to cross often feel an oppressive, ominous weight pressing down on them. These rumors made Alex curious, so she decided to go to the bridge with some other explorers to conduct an experiment to try and communicate with whatever entity was rumored to reside there. Here's how it went.
You want the men to leave the bridge and only talk to the women?
Oh.
They hate us.
I'm gonna ask one more time. If you want me and Rod to leave, make the phone go off.
What time?
To play a game?
Oh, it does.
Because he is.
What kind of
A
game?
story. Tell a
You want
story.
a story?
Your Aunt Alex is here. Yeah, there you go. Do it again.
You can walk closer now?
No,
I was believing not a kid.
that was not a kid. Yeah.
Did you leave?
Oh,
Thank you for coming to the next light.
Can you come closer?
One more step, please. Just come a little bit closer. Don't walk away.
No, don't go away. Come this way.
What was that?
something's like,
I think something's bullying the other ones.
yeah.
It went off. Are you behind us now?
Are we surrounded?
Yes.
Yeah, we are surrounded.
feel like there's a lot of kids. Yeah, come closer.
While their investigation didn't end in disaster, many viewers rushed to the comments to share their own terrifying encounters. One person claimed they heard growling from beneath the bridge, followed by what sounded like footsteps pacing in circles around them, yet no one else was there. Another recalled being shoved so hard they nearly lost their balance, even though nobody touched them. And perhaps the scariest came from a man who said he heard a child's laughter echoing from beneath the bridge, but when he looked, there was only darkness. So maybe Alex was lucky that night. Many believe the Devil's Bridge isn't a place you walk away from unharmed forever, that sometimes the real consequences don't show themselves until after you've left. Have you been to this bridge before? And if you have, what was it like for you? The following clip was recorded by a lady named Mary while she was cleaning her kids' room one morning. Watch. Now, according to Mary, her dog never growls like that, which made her think it was seeing something it didn't like. And honestly, she might be right, because in many traditions, dogs aren't just sensitive to paranormal activity. They're said to act as protectors, warning their owners when a spirit is nearby. Some even believe animals can draw a line between the living and the dead, reacting when that line is crossed. After watching this clip, viewers had their own theories. Some swore it was the doll, that if you look closely, it shifts on its own. Others said the dog's focus wasn't just on the doll, but on something dangerous. And when you think about it, it wouldn't be the first time dolls have been linked to hauntings. But things escalated, and the next time something strange happened in Mary's home, not even the cameras could explain it. Watch this.
Isn't that weird? First time it's happened to me. It's like we were jumping. You can't jump and shake it. It doesn't move. Look. You jump and shake it.
You can clearly hear the sound of something crashing to the floor, yet nothing actually moves on screen. It's often said that some spirits don't need to manipulate objects physically. They can manipulate sound itself, creating an illusion to get your attention or provoke fear. Others think it could be a sign of a poltergeist, which often begins with noises that defy explanation. Of course, the biggest theory among viewers is the sheer number of dolls in the house. Many believe dolls can act as vessels, storing or even attracting spirits. And when you look around that room, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to them than just porcelain faces. But Mary herself doesn't believe it's the dolls at all. She's convinced it's the house, that something within those walls has been there long before the toys, and it has no intention of leaving. This, like many other videos, remains a mystery. In the following clip, Ian, the ghost hunter you might remember from our previous video, went to visit one of the most infamous abandoned houses all by himself. With only cameras, an EMF reader, and a voice recorder, he entered the house and asked if anyone was there with him. For a while there was nothing, then this happened.
Alright, I'm all set up. It is time to go dark. Hello? Is anybody here? I don't know if you remember me, but I visited here before. not too long ago. If you remember me, could you give me a sign? Minnie or Fred Eckhart? Are you here? I'm in your lovely home. Are you okay with me visiting? If you can hear me, could you make a sound somewhere in this house? It's awfully quiet in here to start. I'm not really feeling any. What the hell was that? Hello? Oh my god, that sounded like a woman's voice. I heard it through the headphones. It sounded like it was coming from in there.
After several minutes of waiting, he finally heard a faint but terrifying reply, what sounded like a woman's voice whispering, "I'm here." Ian was stunned, so he looked around, but the house was empty. So to be sure it wasn't his imagination, he carried out a quick test. Watch this.
Now I know I heard somebody in here earlier. It sounded like a woman. If you are indeed here and I'm not going crazy, could you touch this green light that's on the table? You can use whatever energy you need. You can use energy from me, from my cameras. Okay. Wow, okay, I'm getting chills suddenly. Is your name Minnie Eckhart? Are you still here? Are you still living in your home? If you are Minnie Eckhart, could you touch that green light again? Yeah, that's what I figured. Are you the voice that I heard earlier? Or was that somebody else? Was that voice you? Yes. Minnie, is it okay if I ask you a few questions? Yes. Okay. My first question, Minnie, is, are you aware that you have passed away? You're no longer living. Whoa. Okay. So then, why do you stay here? Why don't you pass on to the next life? Is there a next life? Yes. Okay. So then why are you still here? Are you stuck here? Or do you just like it here? Yes. Okay. Well, I can definitely understand why. This is a lovely home. You've lived here a long time. I understand.
The results convinced him he wasn't alone, but this opened up an unsettling question that viewers kept bringing up. Why would a spirit choose to remain here instead of moving on to the next life? Some say they're trapped, tied to unfinished business or a violent death. Others believe they fear judgment in the afterlife, clinging instead to the familiar walls of the living world. And this particular house has a dark history. For those who haven't seen our previous videos about this particular house, it's said to be haunted by the restless spirits of an entire family who once lived there. Of their 11 children, 4 died young. Minnie, the mother, suffered a fatal stroke in 1955, and just 3 years later, Fred, the father, passed away peacefully, but still within these very walls. When Ian made his way down to the basement, he saw something he still doesn't understand.
Is anybody down here? My name is Ian. Is anybody down in this basement with me? Hello? Is anyone back here? What the hell was that? Hello? The sound came from back over here. If that was you, could you make another sound? What the heck? Oh. That's creepy. Hello? Oh my god, this is one creepy room. Who's down here with me? What the hell? Oh my god. What the fuck? That's a tricycle! That's a tricycle! Oh my god! What the fuck? It's like up against the wall! Oh my god, that is terrifying. There must be like a child down here. Could you move that tricycle again? It was like right in the middle of the floor, I think. Because I remember bumping into it. I guess we'll go up to it. Hello? Whoever moved this tricycle, could you move it again? If it moves again, I don't know if I'm going to stay down here, especially if it comes towards me. I'm out. I'm out. No, not really. I'm going to stay. You moved it before, and that was wonderful. But can you move it a second time? That's a challenge. I'm challenging you. Something definitely would have had to have moved that tricycle. There's no way that would have done that by itself. I mean, just look. So you have to actually push this thing to get it to move. I mean, how do you explain that? Okay, that was a child's voice. Did you just speak? I'm freaking myself out now. Hello?
Was the voice Ian heard truly one of the family members who died here, or was it something else entirely? You decide. For more hunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, Marcus Belton was driving home through Ravens Hollow, Maine, exhausted after a long shift and just wanting to crawl into bed. But as he entered his street, his headlights lit up his driveway and he saw something that took him off guard.
Okay, so I just got home from work and there should be nobody at my house right now. I mean, it should be completely empty. But I just pulled up and what is that? Is that a person? What the fuck is that? There should be nobody in the house. Nobody at all. Okay, well, I guess let's check it out. Okay.
Someone in a dark hoodie was standing really still and silent by his door, almost like they had been waiting for him the whole time. This was strange because Marcus lived alone, wasn't expecting anyone, and nobody had a spare key, so whoever that was, they definitely weren't supposed to be there. He stepped out of the car and hurried toward the house, but by the time he reached the door, the figure had vanished. Just like that, no sound, no running, no one walking away, like the person disappeared into thin air. Marcus looked around, checked for prints or any sign someone had actually been there, but he didn't find a single trace. He tried to make sense of it, but the only explanation that stuck was the one he didn't want to believe. A paranormal entity had been there. This video was recorded at a primary school in Ohio where students and teachers often joke about a ghost said to haunt room 3B. You'll hear things like, "Say hi when you walk past room 3B, he likes it." Everyone knew who he was supposed to be, the ghost of a little boy who died long ago and, according to legend, never really left. Most people laughed it off as a harmless story, but that all changed one night when a janitor heard light giggling echoing through the empty hallway. That moment stirred curiosity among some of the teachers, and one Friday evening, they decided to stay late and check the school's security footage from the hallway outside room 3B. They watched in silence, expecting nothing, but then something happened.
Я к нему как-то уже лояльно.
Ну так спокойно.
И что, на одном месте?
Мы все здороваемся с ним теперь.
Да, я ему говорю, привет.
Видишь ребенок?
Видишь, как ребенок.
Когда выходит на черное, его сильно вообще видно. Снимает. Иди сюда, мы же его...
Не верю.
Мы забыли вывести, это можно
вот,
уже на большой экран вывести.
Смотри на большом экране.
Смотри.
Вот ходит, сейчас спустится, вон он идет, видишь?
Видишь? Вот здесь вообще как ребенок, смотри, да?
Капец, вообще, ты видишь?
Ну, конечно, вот и в телефоне вот
да.
он тоже.
И в актовом зале их там 3 штуки играют.
О, ничего себе.
Но они летают.
Они летают, как бы играют.
Они там не ходят, они
А
летают.
вон сейчас уже на стенке.
А я подошла туда
на
к
стенке.
лестнице. К лестнице. Это включила, ничего не снимает телефон там.
At first, it was faint, like a shadow that shouldn't have been there, but as they leaned closer, it looked like a little kid. It started moving, and within seconds, it was gone. Most would have dismissed it if it wasn't caught on camera, but this time, the evidence was undeniable. The footage was later submitted to the school board and eventually shared with a local paranormal investigator. For now, room 3B remains locked after hours, not because of fear, but because they're waiting to see if it happens again. And if it does, the next step might not just be investigation. It could be a full-on cleansing. Devin Hale is a 34-year-old architect living alone in a quiet neighborhood just outside Portland, Oregon. One evening, while relaxing and watching TV like usual, he suddenly heard a loud crash from the kitchen, like a whole stack of plates hitting the floor. He jumped up, ran to check, and that's when things got real. Watch this.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay, I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. Out. That's enough for today.
He stood there trying to convince himself he had imagined it, because that's what we all do, right? But then the kitchen tap turned on. And no, it wasn't one of those motion sensor types. His tap needed to be turned manually. Still confused, but trying to stay calm, he walked over and turned it off, thinking the problem was solved. But as soon as he stepped back, the tap turned on again. The fact that he had to turn it off himself meant something else must have physically turned it on, and that something was certainly not human. He decided to check the laundry room next door, but as he approached, he saw a dark shadow shaped like a person. He ran into the laundry room, which was completely empty, but he was absolutely sure someone or something was watching him. Ever since that night, the tap in Devin's kitchen has developed a creepy habit. Every single night at exactly 8:13 p.m., it turns itself on. Devin has tried plumbing repairs and even got a new faucet, but nothing changed. At this point, there's no other way to explain it. This was definitely a ghost. He sent the footage to a group of investigators, and based on the behavior and strength of the entity's presence, they concluded it was a demon. I hope he receives all the help he needs. I hate seeing kind and normal people pulled into the world of the paranormal, especially when all they wanted was a sense of peace or closure. Eric and Naomi Dalton live in a quiet neighborhood in Flagstaff, Arizona, and had been missing Eric's late father more than usual lately. One afternoon, in a lighthearted moment, they joked about asking for a sign. One of those, "if you're out there, give us a hint," moments you never expect to actually work, but what followed made them wonder if someone had truly been listening. Around 12:40 p.m., they were checking on their dog through their indoor camera when they noticed something unusual. See for yourself what the camera picked up. Before you dismiss it as faulty wiring, Eric explained their bedroom faces the bathroom and there's no shared lighting between the rooms. Plus, their blackout curtains are thick and pulled all the way down, so no light should be coming through at all. At first, the faint glow might look like a trick of the eye or a smudge on the camera lens, but then the light begins to move, slowly and deliberately, like someone waving a dim torch back and forth. But this wasn't the first strange thing to happen in their home, but it was the first time it happened in daylight, and Eric said it felt different and stronger this time, like someone or something was truly listening. They've since saged the house, kept a nightlight on in the hallway, and tried to pretend things are back to normal. Hopefully it stays that way. Camille Moreau is a single mom living in Lyon, France, and not long ago, she moved into what she thought was her dream apartment. But it didn't take long before that dream started to feel like a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. One night, just as she was about to fall asleep, she heard a loud bang from somewhere inside the apartment and walked toward the bathroom. She wasn't prepared for what happened next. The toilet seat moved all by itself, and Camille ran into the next room to catch her breath. But before she could even process what she saw, a picture frame that had been sitting perfectly still for weeks fell flat on its face. Things escalated quickly, and before she could move, the door slammed shut, the lights began to flicker, random objects rolled across the floor. Then a slow, eerie melody started playing from somewhere inside the walls, like the building itself was singing. Scared for her kids, Camille did what any good mother would do. She sent her kids to live with their father, but she's still stuck there because all her savings went into that apartment, and now she's asking for help. She has reached out for help and is hoping a paranormal expert can step in and bring some peace back into her life. We wish Camille the best in banishing this spirit once and for all. Some videos are not about what was seen, but more about what was heard, and trust me, it's the kind of sound that stays with you long after the video ends. A family in Pennsylvania decided to check their doorbell camera after the motion detector went off around 3:17 a.m., and when they looked, there was no person outside, no package was dropped off, it was just light. Watch closely and listen carefully to what they found. small, glowing shapes floating and swirling like they had a mind of their own. But what really gives you chills isn't the light, it's the sound. The faint, scratchy voice loops repeatedly, saying, "Can you tell me how to get?" And that's it. The question never finishes. It just repeats over and over, like someone stuck in time, trying to ask something they never get to say. Some believe it's a lost spirit asking for directions in the only way it knows how. Others think it's simply residual energy trapped in a loop. But with no one there, no interference, and no technical faults to explain what was captured, this was certainly a ghost. A security supervisor at a museum in California worked there for 3 years, and from day one, people warned him the elevator was haunted, but he dismissed it as just another strange workplace story. Over time, the weird stories kept coming, and during one of his night shifts, at exactly 3:40 a.m., he witnessed something he couldn't explain. Watch what the camera caught that night. The inside light of the elevator by right suddenly turned on, and it stayed on for nearly an hour and a half, until 5 a.m. The next day, they ran a full diagnostic on the elevator, electrical tests, door sensors, motion detectors, but there were no malfunctions, no power surges, absolutely nothing to explain what happened. But let's be real, elevators don't activate themselves for over an hour without cause, and if no one was inside, then something else was. Whether it was the restless ghost people whispered about, or a more powerful entity tied to the building, one thing's clear: this wasn't a glitch. It was paranormal. Shortly after, they brought in a priest to bless the building and the elevator specifically. They even closed off the elevator for 2 weeks. We hope this will be the end of the paranormal activity. Jane and her partner recently booked a night at a hotel they've heard several stories about, like doors opening and closing on their own, and guests checking out early with pale faces and nervous laughter. But instead of getting scared, they got curious. They didn't just want stories, they wanted proof, and that's exactly what their camera caught.
It's okay. I can see you. Come to me. Are you a little boy? It's okay. Come here. It's okay. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth. You see a movie? See a movie?
Oh.
It's okay.
No, wait. Come back.
Where?
No, you come back. Go straight. Look straight towards me. No. Turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
With no footsteps and no sound at all, the shadow was still, till it started moving. Instead of freaking out, Jane leaned forward, but her partner was clearly feeling nervous, so he told her to step back, and that's when a shadow moved across the room. It looked like the shadow of a child, and was fast like something alive and playful. The couple barely slept that night, and when the sun came up, they packed their bags and checked out without looking back. After reviewing the footage back home, Jane and her partner decided to send it to a local paranormal investigator who had studied that hotel for years. What he told them confirmed what they already felt in their gut. The shadow wasn't a trick of the light. In fact, similar sightings had been reported before, all pointing to the same room, the same childlike figure. The expert believes the spirit might still be searching for her family, for peace, or simply for someone to notice. One thing's for sure, now that she's been seen again, the activity may only grow stronger. Kelsey Davis always thought being a mom meant dealing with tantrums, toys scattered across the floor, and the occasional sleepless night, but never in her wildest dreams did she imagine that bedtime would become the most terrifying part of her day. day. It started when her young son began having full conversations with no one there, pausing like he was listening to someone speak back. She brushed it off at first as just an imaginary friend, but something about the way he responded didn't sit right with her. One night, she decided to record him.
Who are you saying goodnight to?
Him. Good night.
Who?
Him. Good night.
Jagger, there's no one up there.
Him up there.
Show me.
Him up there. Him up there.
Jagger, there's no one up there. He's been talking to that vent and then he was blowing it kisses. And I'm creeped out now. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm so creeped out right now.
Her son stood in his room, looked toward the ceiling, and calmly said goodnight to an empty corner. Kelsey didn't see anything unusual, but the room didn't feel right, so she shared the footage with a group of ghost hunters to see if they could make sense of it. For now, the situation remains unresolved, and while the activity hasn't stopped, she's hoping the team steps in soon to help figure out what is sharing the room with her son. Jake never believed in ghosts, not as a kid, not as a teen, and not even after his uncle passed away, leaving behind his old garage where he spent most of his time fixing things. The space had been untouched for years, his tools still on the bench, his jacket still on the hook, like he'd be back any minute. Then one night, something strange happened. While Jake was scrolling through his phone, he heard the door slowly open on its own, and while he brushed it off at first, the light inside turned on by itself. But the switch was an old manual one, so it made no sense that it would come on by itself. He checked the footage again and again, searching for some explanation, convinced he'd missed something, but the video showed no movement until he turned the volume up and heard uneven footsteps coming from inside the garage. This only convinced him the situation was far from ordinary, and that sometimes the dead don't rest quietly, they just keep doing what they always did, waiting for someone to notice. This next clip comes from a creator named Chai, someone known for her hilarious takes on everyday life, relatable skits, and the kind of content that makes you laugh even on the toughest days. But recently, she posted something that felt completely different, something personal, unsettling, and impossible to explain.
Okay, who is it?
Daddy. Daddy's right there.
Is it your daddy?
No, it's your daddy.
Is where?
Daddy's right there.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, show me.
See?
Oh.
Your daddy's missing you.
My daddy's missing me?
That's your dad.
Let's go get him. Where'd he go?
In you.
Okay, show me.
Chai's 2-year-old daughter stands quietly in the hallway, calmly repeating the words, "Dad is missing you." What makes this feel truly strange is that Chai's father passed away in 2002. Her daughter had never heard stories about him, never seen a photo, and yet she spoke as if she'd known him all her life. Now, Chai finds herself caught between believing this was just a coincidence or something else entirely, something trying to lure her into that room. She hasn't stepped inside for months, and it's hard to blame her because anyone in her position would be left wondering what might happen if they walked into that room. Few days into the new year, Alex, who worked in an ancient building, got stuck working a late shift alone. When he was about to leave and locking up, something terrifying happened. Have a look.
What was that? Caleb? Yeah? Did you hear that? What?
He heard a voice that was like someone calling out for help. Alex knew he was the only one left in the building. He still turned to look, more out of instinct than reason, but the hallway was empty. The next day, unsure of what to make of it, he decided to look into the building's history, just to see if there was anything that might explain what he'd heard. But what he found was far more disturbing than he could have imagined. Years ago, a janitor had been working that same hallway when a maintenance door came loose and fell, trapping him behind it. And though he called out again and again, his voice echoing through the corridors, no one heard him in time. After learning that, Alex was convinced the voice he heard wasn't just in his head, it was the echo of a spirit still waiting to be heard. Since then, he's made sure he's never the last one to leave. Cameras don't lie, they catch what we miss. Moments we're too distracted to notice, and sometimes signs that something paranormal might still be out there. Melissa, a single mom living in Asheville, North Carolina, had been noticing something strange outside her home for months. Like someone walking past at odd hours, always just out of view. Hoping to ease her mind, she installed a small security camera above the front door, just to see if anything was really there. One evening, after returning home from dinner with her daughter Ava, they got a notification that the camera had picked up a strange movement, and what they saw caught them completely off guard.
Oh shit, Jose. Scary.
A man was walking slowly along the sidewalk in front of their house, but just as he reached a certain spot, he vanished. They rushed outside, hoping to find footprints or some sign of where he'd gone, but there was nothing, not even a single sign that anyone had been there at all. When they shared what happened with their neighbors, they learned they weren't the only ones who'd seen something strange. One neighbor even mentioned that the exact spot where the man disappeared used to be an old bus stop, and that back in 1989, a terrible accident had taken place there. Melissa didn't need convincing anymore. She already knew what this was, and that night she lit a candle and placed it on the windowsill, and from that moment on, they never saw the man again. This was definitely a paranormal activity, and whatever was lurking around their street just needed help getting home. Derek is the kind of man who appreciates quiet moments like when the kids have gone to bed, and the only sounds left are the soft breathing of his wife beside him. But one night, after finishing an episode of American Dad and switching off the television, he heard something. Watch this moment and listen closely. A dragging noise, like something heavy had been pulled across the floor, came from the dining room, but their dining set was the kind that doesn't move unless someone makes it move. So Derek was trying to understand how something so heavy could have shifted so loudly without a single person out of bed. He didn't check right away because the noise reminded him of something that had happened years ago, when every cabinet in the kitchen slammed shut at the same time in the middle of the night. He and his wife rushed into the kitchen expecting a mess, but everything was in place. No broken plates, no open doors, just silence. Within a few days, Derek reached out to a small paranormal team that had investigated homes in the area before, and after visiting the house, they confirmed what he feared most. The activity wasn't random, it was deliberate, and whatever it wasn't just passing through, it was claiming space. I hope things get better after this intervention, but with how active the house has been, Derek's not so sure. For now, all he can do is wait and hope the next sound isn't closer than the last. The following video is about a man named Tyler who had always imagined that moving off-grid would bring peace. The kind of peace that comes from stepping away from city noise, endless traffic, crowded neighbors, and all the clutter and chaos of modern life. For a while, it did. His home sat alone on a hilltop, surrounded by trees, with no neighbors for miles. But one night, at 3:18 a.m., Tyler's phone buzzed with a single ring notification from the camera pointed toward the tree line, and although he didn't check it right away, convincing himself it was probably nothing, the next morning he opened the app, and this is what he saw. A figure moved across the edge of the frame, dressed in white, gliding forward with a strange, rigid stillness, its clothes untouched by the wind, its steps too smooth, too controlled, like it wasn't walking at all, but floating, unaware or maybe uninterested, that a camera was watching, and just as it appeared, it vanished into the trees. Tyler rushed outside, checking every inch of the fence line for footprints or broken branches, or any sign that someone had been there, but there was nothing. No trail, no marks. And ever since that night, he hasn't slept quite the same. I guess living off-grid keeps people out, but it doesn't promise you'll be alone. It just strips away the noise, the distractions, the excuses, and leaves you alone with what's really there. Some fears don't need a reason. They live quietly in the backs of our minds, and for Jordan, basements had always stirred something he couldn't explain. A quiet unease that never really left, no matter how often he tried to dismiss it. So when his grandparents invited him to visit their old farmhouse tucked deep in the back roads of Ohio and offered him the basement guest room, he smiled and agreed, even though something in him said no. The first night felt normal, until just after 2 a.m., when a strange vibration rolled through the floor, followed by a sound he couldn't place. He sat up, reached for his phone, and started recording to be sure he wasn't making it up. The sound was like a broken trumpet, and it was too close to ignore. The next morning, he uploaded the clip, hoping for answers, but instead, people pointed out something he hadn't noticed at all. In the background, just behind the basement window, was a pale face that was watching. Jordan never got a clear answer about what he saw that night, but ever since, he keeps the basement light on, just in case. But this might not be the solution, because some fears don't go away, especially once they finally have a face. The following video was captured by Liv one quiet Saturday evening while she was home alone with her cat. For weeks now, at exactly 7:33 p.m., she would hear scratching sounds. Not the usual kind you dismiss as pipes or rodents, but deep, deliberate scraping, as if something was trying to claw its way through the walls. On some nights, the doorknobs would rattle, lights would flicker in quick bursts, and the cat would stare into corners as if it's following something invisible. One evening, Liv finally set up her phone to record, and this is what she caught. If you turn your volume up and listen carefully, you'll hear the chilling sound of scratches coming from inside the walls. Then, suddenly, objects begin to fall from shelves like a force was shaking the place from the inside out. Now, here's where it gets weird. People are asking why the cat wasn't reacting, and honestly, it's a fair question. But sometimes animals, especially cats, can grow desensitized to long-term spiritual presences, especially if they've been exposed repeatedly. Some experts even believe the spirit may have attached itself to the cat, which could explain its eerie calmness. Liv isn't taking any more chances, so she's made an appointment to have the house cleansed, and because the activity keeps escalating, she has also contacted a private investigator to dig into the house's history. The following clips were recorded by Linda, who has been experiencing strange and unexplained activity in her home. And the strange part? It only ever happens when she's completely alone. For weeks, she brushed it off as her imagination, until the sounds became impossible to ignore, and it kept happening week after week. She decided to set up a camera, and this is what she captured. You can hear heavy footsteps running up and down the stairs like someone's pacing in a hurry, but she is completely alone, and this strange sound usually lasts for about 20 minutes, and then everything goes still. This disturbing activity continued for weeks, growing worse with time, and at one point, it was not just one staircase, it was every staircase in the house, like the entity had grown bolder or multiplied.
You guys, I'm hearing it again, but from downstairs this time. Nope.
Some skeptics tried to discredit her claim, saying the stairs weren't fully shown in the clips. So, the next time it happened, Linda made sure to record the entire stairs.
I keep hearing somebody walk up and down my stairs, but there is obviously nobody there. There's nothing there. And it keeps coming up and down, up and down.
Now here's what makes this truly terrifying. Hearing running footsteps with no visible source is often linked to residual hauntings. It's a replay of something traumatic, usually tied to moments of panic, flight, or even death. It's like the spirit is stuck, reliving its final moments again and again. And now, Linda has admitted that she no longer feels safe staying in the house alone, so she's sent her footage to a ghost hunter, and an investigation is already underway. We wish her luck. A guy named Marcus has been dealing with something far worse than nightmares. For months now, he's been jolted out of sleep by violent, unexplainable events happening right inside his room. We're talking drawers yanked open with force, chairs flung to the side, loud bangs against the wall, and sometimes his blankets being pulled off in the middle of the night. On more than one occasion, objects have flown off shelves and deep scratches have appeared on his bedroom wall. Scratches he didn't make. So one night, determined to prove he wasn't losing his mind, Marcus set up a camera while he slept, and this is what he caught.
In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house. This instant. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house.
He lives completely alone, and his bedroom is always locked from the inside before he sleeps, so there's no possible way anyone else could have been in that room. And with the force and aggression of the entity causing these activities, there's no other reason than the presence of a demon. Marcus sent the footage to his family priest, and thankfully, they've scheduled a day for serious prayers and cleansing. We wish him luck in banishing this tormenting spirit. A young mother named Grace has always believed her late husband still watches over their daughter, Emma, who was just a month old when he passed. From lights flickering on during their bedtime routines, to Emma giggling and reaching out toward empty spaces as if someone were there, Grace has experienced enough to believe he visits. One night, she finally caught this on camera.
Go show mama. Go show mommy.
You can see little Emma sobbing uncontrollably, stretching her arms, pointing toward her dad's photo. And whenever she does this, she doesn't calm down until she's holding it in her hands. This video touched so many hearts, and the comments were flooded with people sharing their own emotional experiences and moments they also felt the presence of someone they lost. Have you ever felt something like that? A visit? Or a sign? Because sometimes all it takes is one moment like this to believe they're still out there. Dan and his wife had just moved into a new apartment, and they were excited to start their family and build memories in their new home. But from day one, the apartment had other plans. It's either the light, the tap turning on in the middle of the night, things falling off shelves that no one touched, gentle footsteps when no one was walking, and sometimes soft humming coming from the hallway. Most visitors brushed it off as poor construction or plumbing issues, but Dan and his wife could feel it wasn't structural, but spiritual. After a few months, they reached out to a medium, and that's when they discovered the truth. According to the medium, the spirit in the apartment was that of a young child who once lived there, the son of the original owners, and he meant no harm. With that knowledge, the couple chose to stay, and they even did a few protective rituals around the house, just in case the spirit decides to be violent. Now, years later, even with kids of their own, the family still lives in the home, and they've grown quite fond of their ghostly roommate. Take a look at what this family has to keep up with living with a ghost.
Get a tissue!
Don't
yell like that.
I was putting myself on a nose,
Look at me. First of all, don't raise your voice like that. It's inappropriate. And see, now the ghost is very upset. Don't do that.
That and there's no ghost in here.
Well, I don't know.
Dan and his wife are still trying to convince their kids that there is a ghost living with them, but the children aren't buying it. They think it's all one big joke, and the parents don't mind, as long as the kids can still laugh it off. And don't start waking up from nightmares, they're willing to let them believe whatever makes them feel safe. I agree, not many people can handle living with a ghost, but Dan and his family, they don't seem to mind, so we wish them luck and hope they know exactly what they're doing. The following clips were recorded by Kyle Anthony after weeks of claiming his house was haunted, claims none of his close friends or family members took seriously. According to them, it was just stress, or maybe the pipes, but Kyle and his fiancée had been experiencing some truly disturbing things, like utensils clattering in locked drawers, the smell of burning hair with no fire in sight, and strange whispers they could only hear when the lights went out. One night, when Kyle was getting ready for bed, the activity got worse. He was just about to turn off the lights when he heard a violent bang from the attic. It wasn't the kind of creak you'd expect from an old house, but a forceful, frantic pounding, like someone or something was trying to break through the attic door. This time, Kyle made sure he went with his phone, and this is what he captured.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you. nothing up here. There's nothing up here. Told you.
The force of whatever entity causing this was more than just aggressive, it was invasive. And such violent contacts are often a warning sign the spirit isn't just there, it's asserting its right or declaring ownership. When Kyle got inside the attic, every step he took inside the attic felt like something was waiting. And when he posted the clip online, viewers noticed something he didn't. A glowing orb moving across the screen just before the clip ended. That orb was the confirmation many needed to believe the attic wasn't empty. There was a spirit roaming. But it wasn't just the attic. Every night since then, a strange banging sound would echo from outside, always around the same time, and always from the same direction. One morning, the sound woke them up again, so Kyle stepped outside with his phone, and this is what he saw.
Alright, we woke up to the banging sound outside of our bedroom again. It sounded like it was coming from outside, yet again. But I think I know where it's coming from, so I'm gonna show you. Right there. I think it's coming from there. Something is banging on that. It's happened, it happened last night, it happened 2 nights ago. That's our bedroom window right there. I hope there's nothing trapped in there, a raccoon, I don't know. But it's been freaking us out, waking us up. So we're gonna take a look. Goodness gracious. I can't see very far down there. Let me see if my light helps. I can't see all the way to the end, but I don't see anything. And that goes around a corner. I don't know if I can even fit between the blocks and that pipe, but I guess we're gonna have to take a look in there. Fuck.
The crawl space was completely empty with no raccoons and no rats, but Kyle knew what this meant. If there was no animal and it wasn't faulty construction, something else was definitely inside his house. Kyle tried to live with it, hoping it would stop, but the activity only escalated. One night, multiple events happened at once. Unexplainable footsteps, appliances switching on, and a door slamming shut when no one was near.
I did not notice that this door opened by itself. I did not notice. I was just trying to get the heck out of here. And to those of y'all that are asking, did I leave my fiance in the house by herself? No, I did not. She was waiting for me on the porch. I told her that when I got in the car, I was gonna film a TikTok really quick. So she went out and waited on the front porch while I backed the car out of the garage. I would not leave her here by herself on a night when this place is lit up like a rave with lights flickering and doors rattling and all that crap. Of course I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, I guess it's understandable that y'all were asking about it. But no. And I have not been in there. I haven't been in this little utility room yet. It's just the water heater and a bunch of junk. There's not going to be anything in there, but let's have a look. Let's have a look real quick. How about it? Into the darkness we stick our freaking hand. Yeah, nothing there. Junk. Bunch of junk. Greatest TikTok of all time, right?
The energy in this room was noticeably stronger, and it could be that whatever's haunting the house is connected to an event that happened here in the past. Or Kyle may have unknowingly brought something cursed into the house, like a thrifted object, or a secondhand piece of furniture. And we know how these things carry dark energy. Things took a disturbing turn days later, and this time, it wasn't just the banging anymore.
Alright, I'm home alone, and I am hearing a little kid laughing in the basement. And I do not have children. This is freaking me out. Yeah, you hear it too? Go. Move. I'll try to go down there. Oh God, let's see if we hear it. Goodness gracious. Shit. Do you hear that? Oh my God, that's freaky. I don't have children. I don't have children. And I'm home alone. My fiance just went with her sister to the mall. Don't hear it anymore now. Goodness gracious.
If you listen closely, you'll hear the creepy sound of children laughing, and even the cats are visibly agitated. Sometimes, hearing children laughing, especially when there are no children around, can be a dark spirit pretending to be something innocent to lure you in before revealing their true form. Kyle has not been able to have one single peaceful night without something strange happening, and it was getting impossible to dismiss it as a coincidence. One night, Kyle tried to get some sleep, praying nothing would happen, but something woke him up. Other than what you just saw in the clip, if you look closely, you'll see a faint pulsing light in the glass jar sitting on top of the TV stand, almost like something alive trapped inside, or a contained energy trying to manifest. Experts say when spirits grow bold enough to interfere with light, especially enclosed light, they've grown stronger. And this was really the case because after this night, it became worse.
This is freaking crazy. Check this out. The knocking is happening in the attic. Listen to that. Gosh dang it. The light just keeps... why is this my life? Yo, this is driving me nuts. It's just constant. I don't know what to do. I just do not know what to do. Goodness.
When an expert reviewed this footage, they pointed out something bizarre. The knocks followed a pattern. 9 knocks, then 14. That's I and N in the alphabet for in. Was it trying to say it was inside, or was it inviting Kyle in? Some believe it was trying to possess a space, or even a person. Others pointed out the eerie synchronicity between the knocking and Kyle's emotions, as if the spirit was feeding off his fear. At this point, Kyle was torn between 2 horrifying possibilities. Either something was trying to torment him, or it was desperately trying to say something. But how do you tell the difference? He has tried everything. Salt across the doorways, iron nails near the windows, even burning sage, and it helped for a week until this happened.
I'll watch this and tell me if you see what I see. Well, I thought we had a quiet night, Shelley. Thought we had a quiet night. It was a quiet night. Everything just stopped. Here, play with that.
If you look closely toward the bottom left corner, you'll see a shadowy figure moving, and if you keep watching, you'll see something even worse. The small box was moving. After Kyle posted this clip, viewers were seriously worried, not just about the spirit, but about Kyle's safety. Many warned him that keeping objects like that doll could lead to possession, or even spiritual attachment that follows him outside the house, and they're not wrong. Others are convinced the doll is the source of all the activities, and that the spirit might stop playing games and become hostile. And judging by how things have been escalating, they might be right, because this kind of activity doesn't fade, it grows. Kyle has reached out to a ghost hunter, and the full footage has been sent in for professional review. Hopefully, they'll be able to pinpoint exactly what's been causing the surge in activity and how to get rid of it. But from everything we've seen, I don't have any doubt. There's a ghost in that house. This next clip was recorded by Sammy, who had been sensing something strange in her home for weeks now. At first, it was small things like the lights flickering at midnight, the sound of someone pacing in the hallway when she was home alone, and an icy breeze that always seemed to pass through the living room without warning. But what really convinced her that something wasn't right was her dog. Sammy's dog had always been calm, but lately it had started growling at empty corners, barking aggressively toward the hallway, refusing to enter certain rooms entirely, and even barking furiously at the empty chair that sat facing her bed. Sammy brushed it off at first, until one evening her dog refused to enter her room, and when her dog finally did, this was what happened. People say if you have a chair facing your bed, the dead come to sit and watch while you sleep. And if you leave a mirror facing your bed, you open a portal between this world and theirs. But Sammy isn't too bothered by these warnings. In fact, she welcomes the idea because she's been connecting with spirits since she was 4. But she agrees something was different about this night, so in her next clip, she revealed something deeply personal. Sammy believes it could be her twin brother who her mother lost during pregnancy, and the timing made it more convincing. That night was their birthday, so it felt too timed to be a coincidence. Still, to be sure, she sent the clips to a trusted medium and is currently awaiting a full reading. But the fact that the dog is growling like this is enough reason to consider other possibilities. Because dogs often detect dark spirits faster than humans, and growling, especially at a fixed spot, is a classic sign of a dark presence. We can't say for sure what it is yet, but I think we can all agree on one thing. There's certainly a spirit in that house. The following video was captured by a man named Sam, who has been experiencing some seriously disturbing activity around his property. He'll suddenly see shadows moving across his hallway and footprints on the porch when no one is visited. One night, he heard loud banging and metallic clattering coming from his shed, so he grabbed his phone and went to check it out, and this is what he captured.
Something is banging around and making noise in one of our sheds. I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm gonna go check it out.
While filming, he suddenly felt a sharp presence, like someone was right behind him, and if you watch closely, you'll notice a figure already in front of his house. Sam ran as fast as he could and even tripped many times before reaching the door, and when he finally reached the door, he found it locked. The same door he had literally just opened. He struggled with the knob for over 30 minutes before it finally let him back in. The next morning, a locksmith checked the door and found nothing wrong, but the same thing keeps happening night after night. The banging in the shed, the icy brush of something moving past him, the shadowy figure approaching the door, and always the door refusing to open until it's too late. Sam sent the footage to a group of paranormal investigators, and according to them, someone may have died in that shed years ago. They're still digging into the property's history and working on a way to release whatever spirit is trapped there. This next clip was recorded by a woman named Saudra, who recently moved into her late mother's house after her passing. A few weeks after she settled in, the familiar smell of her mother's favorite perfume would suddenly fill the room. The kitchen light would flicker the same way it used to when her mom cooked late at night, and the bedroom door is always slightly opened each morning, no matter how firmly she shut it the night before. But the most persistent thing? The drawer in her mom's old room, which kept opening on its own. One morning, as Saudra was getting ready for work, she caught this on camera.
Keep happening in my house since my mom passed away. Like why? I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. It seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Okay, it's fucking weird.
She's had that drawer checked, but every single person she's called to repair it says the same thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Viewers quickly flooded the comments, suggesting maybe it was her mother trying to get her attention or pointing her towards something important hidden inside the drawer. So Saudra opened the drawer, and this is what she found.
Okay, let's do it. I don't know what could be in this drawer. I have my bathing suits and stuff. Halloween shorts that I need to put my Halloween stuff. Lingerie. Phone case. My Magnificent Fizz. My bells are just like, I don't know, clear room or something, I don't know. A lot of ducks for my cruise. I went on a cruise last year and I left leftover ones. Dog's bandana. Bra. What's this? Something my daughter got me. So I do think that this is it, if it is anything, but I'm kind of feeling like this is. I found this note that I'm going to post on top of here from my mom. And then I listen to what this plays.
This clip left so many people emotional, and it's easy to see why. Saudra says she still misses her mother every single day, but now she's at peace that what she's been experiencing isn't haunting, but a quiet reminder from her mother's spirit. If you've ever lost someone close to your heart, you'll understand how the heart aches for just one more moment and one sign to know they're still around, watching over you. That longing is what keeps many going, and for Blair Bathory, a young mother who lost her daughter, that sign came in several ways. On more than one occasion, she'd wake up to find music playing from a jewelry box that hasn't worked since the funeral. But the moment that convinced her it had to be her daughter reaching out was the day she visited her daughter's graveside. And this happened.
I love you. Let me know that you're safe with Grandpa Lynn and Auntie Vanessa, Grandma Ernie. Let me know that you're safe with them, Bean. Spin it if you're safe. Spin it. Show me, baby. Please show me a sign. Show me, baby. Oh, thank you. I love you.
Skeptics may call it the wind or coincidence, but for Blair, with everything else she's seen and felt, this moment confirmed her daughter's spirit is still reaching out. This next clip was recorded by Mateo, who spent the weekend at his mother's house to spend some quality time with his family, especially after their grandfather died 2 years ago. According to his mom and younger siblings, things haven't been the same since he died, and strange things always start happening around the time of his death anniversary. That night they were preparing to have dinner when his mom suddenly felt a heavy presence, like someone else had entered the room. Mateo thought they were teasing him, until this happened.
Okay, so tell him, Mom.
Pues ahorita voy a ver porque mi papá creo que está aquí cuidándome, cuidando a mis hijos y creo que él sí me está escuchando.
Okay, do it.
Pa, si me estás escuchando y estás aquí con nosotros, abre la puerta.
Explain, the door's closed.
La puerta estaba cerrada.
Okay, close it again so we can do it one more time.
Y voy a...
I'm gonna try it one more time, guys. Go, Mom.
Okay, pa.
And we're gonna show you guys that we're not lying. Push on it, Brianna. Hard. My mom.
Why are you recording me?
What makes this so disturbing is that the doorknob didn't even turn, and with the timing, it's hard not to think a spirit is trying to make its presence known. But not everyone agrees it's the grandfather's spirit. They're convinced it's a darker entity, possibly even demonic. They claim that spirits that grow stronger around anniversaries, especially when accompanied by sudden cold drafts or door manipulations, are rarely peaceful and mostly demonic. Tiffany has always been the type to talk about ghost stories, and friends even joke that she's a walking encyclopedia for all things paranormal. But despite her fascination, she had never experienced anything personally, until one day she was cleaning her house totally alone when this happened.
Alright, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I am cleaning. Ignore this, my band-aid wouldn't stay on, so I taped it. But in the middle of cleaning, I hear like a door shut, and I'm whispering because I'm kind of weirded out. Louis in the living room by himself, but I hear this door slam, and then I swear I thought I heard like me say like hello or hey or something. So I'm trying to wait and see if it does it again because I'm a nervous laugher, so.
If you listen closely, you'll hear someone say hello, but what makes it truly unsettling is that it sounds like her, and you know what they say about hearing your own voice. Many experts claim it's linked to what they call a mimic spirit, an entity that impersonates the living in order to frighten or establish control. In some cases, it's seen as a sign the spirit is trying to attach itself to the person it's mimicking, and for someone who knows as much as Tiffany does, she's not taking chances, so she's making arrangements to have her entire house cleansed. Marissa had always noticed something strange about her daughter's behavior, like the little girl quietly having a full-blown conversation with absolutely no one around, or sometimes yelling like she was trying to prove a point. It became unbearable when her daughter would wake up in the middle of the night, pointing at corners of the room, whispering, "She's back." At this point, Marissa decided to install cameras in the kitchen, living room, and bedroom, and this is what one of the cameras captured. If you watch closely, you'll see that the little girl isn't just grabbing her toys, she's using so much force as if she's yanking them from someone else. And when a child interacts with a spirit, especially one that fights over objects, it's a clear sign of a territorial presence, possibly a spirit child, or worse, something pretending to be one. And the fact that her daughter is the only one who sees it, that's even more terrifying. Marissa has sent the footage to a ghost hunter, and the case is under review. Let's hope she and her daughter get the help they need before the spirit decides it wants more than just the toys. The following clip is about Sapphire, a woman who has carved out an eerie niche for herself, collecting and sharing stories about haunted dolls. Her channel is filled with unsettling encounters, chilling legends, and strange energies that seem to surround these dolls the moment they arrive in her home. Most of the dolls come from online marketplaces like eBay, where she either adopts or purchases items believed to be spiritually active. And if you're wondering, yes, she talks to them. One afternoon, she sat down for a session with one of the newest additions to her collection, and this is what she captured on camera.
Christy, can you show me your hair right now? Good job. Can you touch your favorite tool? Definitely the REM pod. Can you turn that off? Can you turn it back on? Good job. Can you hold it down in your favorite color, honey? It's black, but you said green. And green, black and green. Wow, that's going really fast. The sweep rate. Were you in the army? You can use these words in this app to communicate anything you want to me. Are you able to piece them together to tell me how you passed away? Ammo? Did somebody SHOOT you? Yeah. Are you 28? Christy, how can I help you? Is there anything you want to tell me right now?
The spirit's answers were emotional, specific, and disturbingly real. Now, here's the thing about haunted dolls. Paranormal experts believe that spirits, especially those that died young or under traumatic circumstances, can latch onto objects, and dolls, with their human-like features and emotional symbolism, become the perfect vessels. Some spirits stay passive, and others, not so much. Experts warn that once a spirit attaches to a doll, it can become a conduit, allowing supernatural energy to pass between worlds. And in more extreme cases, these spirits don't just remain in the doll, they begin to hunt the space around them. In the following video, a lady is casually filming her drunk roommate, but then something unexpected happens. Take a look.
What? 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 What are you doing? Did you not hear that? No. Are you sure? Sinji.
At first, it all seems like her roommate is just being dramatic, but when they go back to rewatch the footage, she realizes she may have had a reason to panic. If you watch closely, the dog is acting strange too, almost like it senses something, or someone say that we can't see. Now, this is where things start to get pretty creepy. The clip quickly sparked debate online. One of the main theories, the large mirror facing the bed. Viewers claim that placing a mirror opposite your bed can act as a spiritual portal, inviting in unwanted guests or giving certain entities a clear view of you while you sleep. And suddenly, her roommate's reaction doesn't seem so funny anymore. So, was it a reflection glitch or something far more unsettling? Whatever this was, it still startles them to this day. There's something undeniably eerie about little kids interacting with things we can't see, especially when there's history behind it. In this next clip, Daisy shares a moment involving her daughter that she just couldn't ignore. She laughs at empty corners, plays games that seem to involve someone else, and stares out the window for far too long, as if waiting for someone. At first, Daisy thought it was all part of growing up, until one morning, her daughter did something she couldn't explain, and that's when she decided to record. But before we show you the clip, there's some backstory you need to know. When Daisy first moved into the neighborhood, she became very close to a sweet elderly woman next door, affectionately called Granny by everyone. Granny was especially thrilled to learn that Daisy's due date was on her own birthday, and when the baby arrived, it was like they were meant to meet. Granny absolutely adored her, and the two of them formed a quiet, beautiful bond. One of those rare connections that doesn't need words to be felt. They had tons of beautiful moments together, and the baby always looked forward to visiting. Sadly, Granny passed away at the age of 101. A year later, Daisy bought Granny's old house, and that's when these strange behaviors started. One day, while pulling out of the driveway, this happens. Watch.
¿Dónde? ¿Qué estás viendo? ¿Qué estás viendo, mamá? ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde? ¿Qué? Are you playing peekaboo? ¿Qué estás viendo, mamá? ¿Qué? ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Dónde?
Daisy's daughter is caught talking and laughing with someone or something no one can see. Then she starts to play games. Games Daisy instantly recognized as the same ones Granny used to play with her. And strangely, this all seems to happen around the same places Granny once loved. One detail Daisy mentioned that really stuck with people is Granny's roses. Granny planted them in the backyard years ago, and now every single morning, Daisy's little girl waters them, like it's part of a shared ritual between them. And while she does it, she's laughing and talking like there's someone there with her. A lot of people are convinced the little girl still sees Granny, and they might be right, but like other videos, I'll let you decide. Now, in this next video, Amber is trying to get rid of a ghost she believes is in her house by literally locking it out. But while she's at it, this happens. Have a look.
We're gonna be really quiet. Oh my god, those are footsteps upstairs. I'm about to shit my pants. Stop. Oh my god, that footsteps go down the attic stairs. Wait, I can lock it from the outside, right? Right? I can lock it.
Amber moved into this house fully aware that the previous tenants had lost their mother inside it, and according to them, her spirit never truly left. It's been years now, and while Amber admits the spirit does mess with her from time to time, she's convinced it's friendly. She even has cameras set up all over the house, not for security, but to monitor the ghost movements. One night, she's sitting down to watch a scary movie, and just as things get intense, this happens.
Dan. Oh. Dan, leave me.
It's okay. It's okay.
The lights went off, then came back on, as if something was messing with her right in the middle of the movie. Still, she insists she's living with a nice ghost, and to prove that, she posted this next clip. Watch.
Really? Yeah.
Let me explain what happened here. Amber had a job interview the next day and couldn't find the envelope that held her important documents. After hours of searching, she found it, and to be extra safe, she placed it somewhere she knew she wouldn't forget. But apparently, the ghost didn't trust her memory. Amber says the ghost deliberately knocked the envelope out as a reminder for her to put it straight in her purse. Now, some people wondered why her dogs didn't react, but Amber says they're just as used to the ghost as she is. And honestly, that might be true. Animals tend to react to unfamiliar energy, but if this presence has always been part of the household, it might feel completely normal to them by now. To Amber, this isn't haunting, and she's totally content living with the spirit, but still, just how long will this so-called peaceful coexistence last? For now, no one can say. In the following video, Jenna is in the middle of vlogging her morning routine when she suddenly hears her daughter yelling at someone and walks in, clearly upset. Watch this.
What? She's not getting down. Who, honey? Connie's not getting
What's her name? Kalong?
Yeah, she's not getting down.
Where is she, honey? Where is she?
She's in the living room. She's not getting off the chair.
Okay. What would you like me to do about this?
She needs to get off the chair because she's gonna fall on her head.
Okay. How does she look?
Looks like she has makeup on herself.
Okay.
She's not listening to my words.
Okay, go tell her to get down and then see if she gets down. Okay?
T. Come on, you can get down. Okay. Good job. Thank you. She got down.
Are you playing with her?
Oh, yes, I'm using it now. She was just there on the chair. Because I liked her to get off, so. But she's on.
Okay.
Turns out, her daughter is upset because her friend in the living room, which was completely empty, isn't listening to her. But what really caught people off guard was the name the little girl used. Several viewers quickly pointed out that the name closely resembled Kalanarang, a legendary figure from Javanese and Balinese folklore, known as a powerful witch who practiced black magic in the 11th century. She's often described as always being on full makeup, something the little girl also mentioned. And suddenly, what seemed like an innocent imaginary friend started to feel a lot darker. But Jenna isn't buying it. She believes it's just a harmless imaginary friend. So to prove her point, she recorded a conversation with her daughter, asking her more about this mysterious friend. Have a look.
Kalong gave me a hug.
She did?
Yeah, because she's so nice.
Oh, how old is she?
5.
She's 5? What color of hair does she have?
I don't know. Maybe a yellow hair?
Yellow hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Kalong nice or is she mean?
Nice.
She's nice to you?
Yeah.
That's good. What does she wear? What kind of clothes does she wear?
She wears my clothes.
She wears your clothes.
She does. She really wants my clothes because she wanted to wear them.
Oh.
Kalong, are you okay back there? You want me to come with you?
She in the back seat?
Yeah. She wants me to come with her.
Well, you can't. You have to be in your car seat.
Why?
Because you're 3. Why is Kalong in my car?
Because she wants to.
Okay. Does she follow you everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
maybe me and Kalong can go on a walk tomorrow.
Maybe.
While some viewers found the interaction harmless, even adorable, others couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a child's imagination. One viewer even shared a terrifying personal story. She wrote, "Just always keep an eye on her. My daughter fell from a bunk bed, and later that day she told me her friend told her to get up, then pushed her." Comments like this, combined with the idea that something invisible is constantly around a child, made viewers seriously concerned. Because when kids have friends that no one else can see, it rarely ends well. Jenna still isn't convinced, but we can only hope she's right, and that she and her little girl stay safe. This next clip comes from Felix, a man living in Castle Pines, Colorado. But his story isn't about one haunted house, it's about many. For reasons even he can't explain, Felix and his family have been forced to move constantly. They never last more than 3 months in one place, because the strange activity always finds them. Whether it's twisted figures with long tentacle-like limbs watching them from dark corners, or the sudden overwhelming stench of sulfur with no source in sight, something is clearly not right. And with each move, the encounters get worse. One evening, Felix is home alone when he hears loud, persistent banging coming from the basement. He grabs his phone to record, walks over to investigate, and this is what he sees. Watch.
JC, this is what I have to deal with. Here we go. Hello?
If you look closely, you'll see a strange figure passing by, but things only get terrifying when he goes to the basement to investigate the noise. If you listen closely, there's the sound of a woman sobbing. Now here's where it gets disturbing. Many believe this is no ordinary spirit, that if you hear a woman crying, or see a child alone, it's often a demon using a familiar voice to lure you closer. Felix doesn't know for sure if he's dealing with a ghost or something far more dangerous. But what do you think? Is his constant moving just a string of bad luck, or is something paranormal following him from house to house? The following video was captured by Sammy's mom on a weekend, hours after she had just finished decorating the house for the little family get-together they were hosting. Sammy wasn't back from a few errands she was sent when her mom called her on the phone saying some strange things were happening in the house. Sammy told her to record whatever it was, and this is what she sent.
Okay, I look over and I see this. Now it's slowing down. There's nobody around playing with the chords. And it's still moving. Ever so slightly.
The hallway lights were moving in a slow, deliberate rhythm, and there were no open windows, no vents, and nothing else in the room was moving. It was as if something had chosen the lights to make itself known, and this kind of isolated movement, especially electrical fixtures, can indicate the presence of an energy trying to manifest itself. By the next morning, Sammy was alone in the house, and it was her turn to experience what had now become a terrifying pattern.
So I'm here by myself, and I'm hearing like weird noises. That noise that you just heard is my dog down there. But I'm hearing like whispering and like things moving around about in that direction. I don't know. My dog's ears are up because I think he can hear it too. Okay, I have no clue what that was. Is that you making that noise? No? Okay. What? I have no clue what is going on.
It started with a soft voice, distant but steady. Then it sounded like someone was humming and whispering. The truth is, hearing voices is disturbing on its own, but when the family dog reacts and starts staring into corners with ears perked and tail down, it's never a good sign, and usually means one thing: something's really there. A few days later, it escalated.
So I decided to visit my best friend after work today, and I got here before they did, and there's literally, I walked in here and like something started knocking on the back door back there. You can hear it. Stop! Now, okay, so you might think it might be the neighbor or something, or like a dog or something at the door, but look. We're on the second floor. And there's like literally nobody. There's like nobody here. And I'm by myself. I thought we were done with this crap. Okay.
Their first experience was with light, then voices, and now knocks. In many cases, these knocks aren't just noises, but intentional communications, a way of letting you know you're not alone. At this point, people Sammy had shared the videos with urged her to sage the home, because spirits like this tend to feed off fear and attention, and the more you acknowledge them, the stronger they get, and they were right. A few nights later, she heard a sound like someone crying inside the small storage room, but when she got closer, it stopped, and she caught this on camera. After this strange activity, a new theory began to surface. A lot of people started voicing their opinions saying maybe it wasn't just the house, but the spirit was attached to Sammy herself. She wasn't ready to believe it, but after visiting a friend's home to get a break from the chaos, something unsettling happened there too.
So, I just recorded a video in my bathroom about the situation that happened the other day about the shower curtain. And little disclaimer here before I show you that. This is the only light switch for this bathroom. Like, there's no light switch out here on the wall or over there. There's no other light switch. This is the only one for this bathroom. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay. Hey guys, back in the bathroom again. So as you saw in the video the other day, something happened with the shower curtain. So we're gonna have a look at it and see if there's anything in the shower. It's a fine day. So we looked in here last time and there wasn't.
This was a completely different location, and at this point, Sammy wasn't only thinking about cleansing her house, because if the spirit is really attached to her, she needs to find a solution to that as well. This was certainly a case of attachment haunting, when a spirit forms a connection to a person rather than a place. Most times, it starts with environmental activity, but when the person leaves and the entity follows, it becomes something much more serious. Before leaving her friend's place, Sammy sent her footage to a ghost hunter for a full review, and he confirmed that those comments might be more than just speculation. We can only hope she gets the help she needs before the spirit makes its next move. This next clip is about a single mother named Sydney who lived with her young son in a house that is over 100 years old. From the moment they moved in, Sydney sensed something wasn't quite right, and this wasn't just creaky floors or flickering lights. There were nights when she'd walk into her son's room and find dirt and soot scattered in perfect circles on the floor. Once, she even discovered a pair of muddy handprints on the ceiling above his bed. Handprints too small for an adult, but with 6 fingers. But the most unsettling thing was that, at least twice, she walked into her son's room and found every single toy positioned upright, all facing the same direction toward the hallway, as if waiting for something. After a few days, the activity stopped and things felt normal again, so Sydney went back to taking night shifts while her sister came over to babysit. One night, her sister and her son were curled up on the couch watching SpongeBob when this happened.
SpongeBob night.
SpongeBob off.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now. What is happening? Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here.
The empty rocking chair suddenly began to swing back and forth like someone was sitting there, enjoying the show. And you know the saying, you should never leave a rocking chair empty, because doing so is an invitation spirits rarely turn down. Sydney's sister contacted her immediately, and she told her sister to grab her son and head straight to a friend's house nearby. There was no way she was letting them spend the night alone in that place. The next day was a Friday, so Sydney decided to stay with her son, and this time she set up a camera in the living room. This is what she caught. In old houses that are already layered with so much time and energy, spirits don't just exist, they compete, so throwing things could be a warning, a tantrum, a demand for space, or worse, a sign they're becoming stronger. After reviewing the footage, Sydney contacted a professional ghost hunter who arrived the next day. And what he sensed wasn't just a single entity, not even two. There were 7 distinct spirits in that house. Some restless, some angry, and some, he said, didn't even know they were dead. Cleansing a house with that much activity won't be easy. In fact, experts say that in older buildings, spirits often resist being forced out. Some return, some retaliate, and some never leave at all. We wish her luck. The following clip is about Emma, a simple lady who had been disturbed for weeks with strange noises, shadows where there shouldn't be, and a lingering sense that something was always just behind her. Coincidentally, it all seemed to start after her sister moved out of the house, leaving something behind, a Ouija board. Ever since then, Emma's home has felt off, like someone else or something else moved in. Now she's asking for help. Not just to stop the haunting, but to understand what exactly she's living with, because what she's been experiencing so far, it's not normal. One of the most chilling things Emma talks about is the mimicking activity. She says she hears her daughter calling out to her, sometimes from the bathroom, sometimes from the stairs, but when she checks, her daughter isn't even home. This is a paranormal activity often linked to malevolent entities. You see, spirits capable of copying voices often do it to draw people in, break their guard, or cause confusion and fear. One day, Emma was able to capture this on camera.
You guys, I'm freaking out. Okay, my son is gone. He's not home. He's at a party. Yeah, I know, I look like shit. I don't care. I just got woken up. There's been a mimic here for a couple weeks. When my daughter's not here, I hear her say my name, and she's not there. I ignore it because I know it's a mimic. I have seen it on here. My daughter's home, but my son's not home. My son is the only one that lives upstairs. The only one upstairs. All night since he's been gone, I keep hearing, like, the door close. Like, it'll just shut. But sorry. So anyway, so my son's not home, but I keep hearing the door shut. But there's nobody up there. There's nobody up there. I'm going to see if I could try to... And let me take you guys... I'll take you guys up there and show you there's nobody up there. But let's see if we can catch it. I'm so scared. Normally I don't get scared, but hearing the door close like a freaking human is up there, and I already went up there once and I checked and nobody or nothing was up there. So I went up there and I checked all the rooms and in the attic, and there's nobody up there, but I keep hearing his bedroom door close, or like somebody's walking up there, but he's not here. I don't know what my dog's barking at. But I hope we catch it on camera because this is freaking creeping me out. The stairs right now. Did you hear that? It sounds like somebody's walking up there. Bro, my eyes are watering. This is scaring me. Hold on. Oh my god, as soon as I stopped it, I heard it. I know you guys heard that. I hope I caught that. Did you hear it? Oh my god. Oh my God, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Look, nobody's up here. Oh my God. Look at, his door is closed. Oh my God. Nope, 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 nope. I gotta tell my daughter, boo-boo. Oh my God, there's water in my eyes. Oh my God, why does it sound like, and I recorded it. It sounds like somebody's in your brother's room. And I went up there to show that the door was closed. Tell me why his door opened when I went up there. I swear, I ran down here by myself. I'm recording it. Come up there with me to show them nobody's here. Oh my God. That made my eyes water, you guys. I showed it on camera. My son is not home. I'm not going to stop the recording just so I can show you guys.
That's scary.
I know, I ran down here. I ran down here so fast. Okay. Oh my God, that scared me. And it sounds like somebody's walking around up there, and I got it on recording. Yes, hold on. Look at, his door is moving. Okay, we're gonna go up there and I'm gonna show you guys nobody is in his room. He is not here. Turn your flashlight on. Oh my God. Hurry up and come up here so you can point it to show nobody's in the room. Look. Look. Nobody's in here. Nobody.
Look, even Pixie.
You guys literally, you seen that in real time with me. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Oh no. I told you guys. And there's been that mimic. And my daughter has heard it when I'm not here. It says my name, or it says her name in my voice when I'm not here. And it says my name in her voice when I'm not here. And, or when she's not here. And now that's happening. Look at my dog. Oh, fuck no, fuck no. Fuck, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not coming under the side of the house no more. Oh my God.
In the paranormal world, doors don't just shut for no reason because spirits are believed to manipulate energy, using it to isolate or intimidate. This was especially terrifying for Emma because there were no windows open, no fans, no one else in the room, and the footsteps only made things worse. Emma also noticed her dog was always staring at the attic door every single night, so she took a phone and went there.
Okay, I gotta show you guys this too. So that video of, I'm telling you my house is haunted. Look, up here, there's the attic. I hear noises up there in my room, and so does my dog. Look, there's my dog. Okay, hold on. He's been doing this crazy thing lately. Look. Like he hears something up there. Come on, you guys. Like, there's nothing in my attic. I've shown you guys this in videos in the past, but he's going crazy. Like, look, he even broke my TV recently because he fell onto it. But it's like he's hearing stuff in the attic, and he's like whining at it and barking, and he's jumping up at my light to get to whatever's in the freaking attic. He broke this piece off. So this piece was part of that. And because he's been hearing whatever he's been hearing the past like week or two in the attic, he's going crazy and jumping up at it. He ended up pulling this down, but that's what he keeps doing. I'm so glad I caught it on camera. I'm so glad, like, this, like, I just got home. I've been at my daughter's the past couple days because of it. But, like, look at him. He's going crazy over whatever he is hearing up there. Okay, I'm going to take you up there and show you. There's nothing and nobody in there. So why is my dog freaking out? All of this stuff happening is freaking me out. Hold on. All right, so let me show you guys. So this is the stairs, right? It leads down the stairs. Okay, that is our spare room. That's our attic. This is my son's room that was happening in when he wasn't in there. But now that he's home, it's happening in the attic. I'm not gonna stop it, but I'm gonna show you guys. Watch. That's how we keep the attic closed. Scared. All right. I have the chills. I don't know if you can see, but I have the chills so bad. I hate coming up here. This is my attic. Okay. Over there, that is my bedroom. That long heater thing, that's the heater that divides my bedroom and the dining room. that's where my dog is hearing something. And when he hears it, he's jumping up and going crazy. And it sounds like footprints, just like what was in my son's room the other day. It sounds like there's someone up here like walking around, because you can hear like, see on the board. And then my dog will hear it, and my dog will go crazy. As you can see, it just happened, and my dog was just going crazy. I'm closing that. I do not like being in here ever since this has been happening. So, as I said, and then that's the spare room. The other day, that door opened, and this door is not easy to open. Like, it has a lock and everything. And the only thing in here is our dragon's tank and a bed. The paint is messed up. I know my niece lived in here. She started repainting it, and then they moved out, and now that's what it looks like. But so that's all that's up here, and all these doors are always closed. I told my son, I showed him the video of what was going on in his room the other night, and he even said that his door sometimes would just open out of nowhere, and he was wondering why. And he has been hearing things too, which I never knew because he never said anything to me until recently. So we're all hearing this at the house. I need to cleanse this house or something, because I cannot be here much longer with this. Neither can my kids. Like, we're getting so scared of being here.
Now it's one thing to hear things, it's another thing when your kids start hearing the same voice calling them from different corners of the house. It got worse when her son showed her marks on his back with no idea how those marks got there. She also continued dealing with doors closing upstairs when no one's up there and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Even when she's alone, at this point, Emma didn't feel safe anymore. Not for her, not for her kids, not even for her dog. She reached out to their family priest, and thankfully, she now has a date set for a full spiritual cleansing. Based on the voice mimicry, the door movement, the scary marks, and the dog's constant reaction to a specific spot in the house, I strongly suspect this is more than just a spirit, it's a demon. In the following video, a woman who goes by the nickname Bulldog Mom is in her kitchen, casually watching a Mr. Balance story on her phone when she hears her daughter shouting in the living room. Watch. What's disturbing about this is that the noise only happens when she's home alone, and never when friends or family are around. When she posted the clip online, viewers jumped in with theories. Some suggested it might be a spirit trying to communicate. Others urged her to dig into the house's history, just in case something traumatic ever occurred there that left an imprint. But here's the creepy part. There's no pattern and no timing, just these random bursts of noise. She has reached out to a medium in hopes of getting some answers about if there's a spirit present and what exactly it wants. Until then, she's keeping her phone close, in case the noises return. This next clip was recorded around 3 a.m. when Kurhaz's young daughter suddenly wakes up, and what follows is hard to explain. Have a look.
It ain't nothing, babe. It's a dirty hand.
No!
See?
No!
It's the cover, look. It's the cover.
You gonna mommy?
No. It's Daddy's hand. It's my hand.
The little girl looks terrified, and she's staring at something no one else can see. She says she feels something touching her, but there's no one there. According to Kurhaz, this has been happening for weeks now. Every time around 3 a.m., her daughter wakes up terrified, unable to speak clearly, shaking and clutching her arms like she's being grabbed, and it doesn't end quickly. On this particular night, it lasted until 9:45 a.m., and she wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink, wouldn't sleep, and neither could her parents. Kurhaz writes, "As a mom, it's so hard to hold it together when something like this happens. They've taken her to several doctors, but every medical test comes back normal with no physical symptoms or psychological diagnosis. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. A neighbor mentioned something that made all this make sense. Apparently, the land their home was built on used to house an old orphanage that burned down over a century ago. Several children were trapped inside and never made it out. And now, every night at 3 a.m., her daughter seems to respond to something only she can see. It's as though a presence is reaching out to her, another child perhaps, who didn't want to be alone. Kurhaz contacted their family priest, and they performed a spiritual bath and house cleansing. Since then, things have been quiet. Just like the last clip, in this next video, Chandler is folding clothes when she hears her daughter, Nellie, yelling from the living room and arguing with someone. Thinking her little girl was just playing pretend again, she goes to check, only to find this. Nellie is yelling at someone or something, insisting it isn't their turn on the swing. But here's the disturbing part. They were completely alone in the house, and what started as a harmless outburst quickly spiraled. Nellie broke down crying uncontrollably, that Chandler had to drop her phone and rush to comfort her, but it took hours before the little girl could calm down. Even then, she kept pointing at different corners of the room, screaming, "No!" at something no one else could see. After finally falling asleep, Chandler reviewed the footage and shared it online. That's when viewers noticed something unsettling. Nellie didn't just fall. It looked like she was pushed. Chandler still doesn't know what her daughter saw that day, but Nellie hasn't played in that room since. Whatever she was pointing at, it made her cry like she was being warned, or worse, threatened. And if she really was pushed, it raises a darker possibility. Maybe it wasn't just a tantrum, and maybe something wanted her off that swing. But like other videos, I'll let you decide.